As somebody who covered the Supreme Court and sat there and watched you year after year, I've seen all these sides of you.
I've seen all this.
They don't have that kind of angry expression that you sometimes had when a lawyer was not prepared.
Oh, no, I never had that, surely.
Her face is instantly recognizable. Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, the first woman ever to sit on the U.S. Supreme Court. And now, at age 77, retired after nearly 25 years on the bench, she's in the spotlight again in Portraits of Sandra Day O'Connor, a new show at the National Portrait Gallery in Washington.
Why'd you think it would be fun and worth spending some time doing?
Well, it wasn't fun to sit there for all those hours, I can tell you that.
The 25 portraits were made by 25 artists known as the Painting Group. They meet every week in this small New York studio.
Why do you keep coming?
Don't know what to do on Wednesday night.
It's fun to be here. It really is.
David Levine and Aaron Shikler are longtime friends who founded the Painting Group back in 1958.
I think the name Painting Group came up because we became incorporated,
Yeah.
and we had to have some sort of an official name.
You're
And that's it.
incorporated.
Yeah, believe it or not.
As a CEO, it's hell.
He's president, I'm vice president.
Both men are masters in the art of portraiture. Levine's caricatures have appeared on the covers of major magazines. He's drawn everyone from Joe DiMaggio and Liza Minnelli to Ernest Hemingway and Albert Einstein. And Shikler is best known for his political portraits, President Ronald Reagan and Nancy, President John F. Kennedy and Jackie.
Yeah, don't get too detailed right away, I told you.
How do you teach somebody to paint anyway?
Most of them have had some lessons. What we try to do is make them a little better, which doesn't work. doesn't work. Where we can help them, we will. Let it be a matte look. Let it be that flat look.
Some members are amateurs, others are professional artists. Emily Vines, a painter and sculptor, started coming here 16 years ago.
You come here with friends, you get to work and just to get involved and kind of get out of yourself. It's very meditative.
So how do you get to be a member?
For somebody to die off and then the next one comes.
Costs a fortune.
It's by happenstance is the only way to put it.
Any previous members we've ever heard of?
No.
We had Tom Wolfe here for a very short time. He didn't last too long. He had one exhibit with his caricatures, and the note I left him, "You left too soon," but that was not too happy for him.
I like the scale of what you're doing.
In the 50 years that the group has been around, it's been mostly out of the public eye. Until now.
How are you? Anyhow? Fine, right.
A documentary on the Painting Group, produced and directed by Neil Leifer, is now in the works. It focuses on that October day when Justice O'Connor came to sit. Another of the film's producers is Walter Bernard, a longtime member of the Painting Group.
I thought, what if all of us painted a prominent American figure at one time? That would mean 25 different impressions.
All painted in exactly the same
Same
time.
moment, same context, same person.
Normally, I cross my ankles. Is that
Do
okay?
exactly what you are comfortable with.
that right?
Because it gets pretty boring, let's
It
face
does get boring. I'm bored already. Now we've got.
When we were told that she would be the one that would pose for us, great. Well, we had no particular reasons not to have her, right?
Well, it's very strange to somehow this highly important personage comes around. I'm only used to certain people who have a different approach to their bodies so that it enables them to pose nude and so on.
There wasn't any chance of Sandra Day O'Connor doing that properly.
Please.
No,
Not
the chance
even
was,
a joke came up
but
with
I
that.
thought maybe we should have been the ones nude.
In two fully clothed 3-hour sessions, Justice O'Connor posed for her portrait. Also there, the documentary's executive producer, David Hume Kennerly, a Pulitzer Prize-winning photographer and close friend of Justice O'Connor. The artists completed their portraits from his photographs.
Subjects don't always look straight ahead, do they? Oh my.
Gil Eisner, an illustrator, has been part of the painting group for 25 years.
She was terrific. She has a lot of stories. She's very interesting.
And when I was young, I spent much of my life on the back of a horse.
Did she talk while you painted?
She talked so much that at one point we asked her not to talk so that we could do her mouth.
The result, 25 portraits of a lady justice.
If art were science, which it isn't, this would be a controlled experiment. A way to just see how artists at a particular moment grasp something differently.
Mark Pachter, director of the National Portrait Gallery, says these portraits capture O'Connor as both a justice and a woman.
And that's what I love. The fact is that when you look around, we have a sense of a professional, formal presence, but then we have a sense of an intimate connection with it. I love the fact that some really didn't put her robes in at all.
So what did the maestros of the group think about their portraits? David Levine says his may be too much of a caricature.
I told her, though, that I felt that this was not her, that it was cruel.
And Aaron Shikler wasn't happy with his either.
I mean, it's an image of her which isn't bad, but it isn't really a great likeness of her. In fact, it almost looks like a man with a wig on there. I mean.
But if anyone is used to making judgments, it's retired Justice Sandra Day O'Connor.
So now that you've had a chance to wander around and see it all, what do you make of it?
Well, different strokes for different folks. What can I say? I love meeting each one of you and being with you today. I wish they had let me talk to you more.